Hey, this is just a quick video for today. I know the year's coming to an end, and I really wanted to thank the people that have supported me throughout this year. All the new Patreon backers, the people that have just randomly donated to me. I've been through a lot in my personal life with my mental health, and my physical health has been on and off because of the mental health. It's been a vicious cycle. I've been on vitamins to help with it. I've only been on them for a few weeks, and I'm noticing things are getting better slowly. It is one reason why I'm still not doing any heavy duty stuff. Honestly, I've had a lot of time to reflect on what's happened with Xenoverse 2 and how I was not really able to produce the content that I wanted to. And I felt really bad about it, and honestly, it really did screw up October and November for me. But I realized that I really don't need the stress and the pressure of doing anything heavy duty day one before anyone else does. And also, I didn't even know this until the last game came out, but when Xenoverse 1 came out, I had no idea there was this huge community of giant channels that play those games. So I really don't think I had much constructive to add that one of those people had not already done to begin with. So I'm just going to be playing that casually, and I'll probably be doing my DFO and PSO2 dailies every day. I tend to do them after I wake up. I have some breakfast. I do that stuff for about an hour or two, and then go to lunch. I go grab something to eat, and then come back later. So I'm gonna post a link to my Twitch channel in there. I've never really taken streaming seriously, but it actually does help with my stress. And one of the things that I made the mistake of doing was I stopped streaming for months. When I went through the worst of this stuff, when I had to wait for the blood test results, and the symptoms, got worse and got better and got worse again and stuff like that. So I'm going to be trying to stream more often. I'm sure you noticed this year that Black Friday's been pretty lackluster. It seems like all the big companies and stuff are trying to reduce the emphasis on it, which is a good thing. You don't have to wait in line, you don't have to get trampled, and maybe the people who get stuck working retail on Thanksgiving and Friday will have more time to spend with their families. I only grabbed one thing. I traded in a bunch of stuff on Amazon earlier in the week in preparation for it, so I have like $41 on there. And I thought that I would get something for Black Friday. I really did not see anything that was must-have. I kind of wanted to get that Earth Dawn game, but the animation in that, I know this is kind of petty, the animation looks awful. The art style is pretty good aside from the main character, but it uses like the worst kind of motion tween. Like, it looks like an early Flash game. Like, I thought about getting it, but I realized a game like that is probably going to be heavily discounted later on. So what the plan is probably on the 10th or around the 10th, actually the 11th. They normally Curse normally pays me towards the end of the 10th of the month. It's usually not like right at the beginning of the day. Like Patreon pays me out pretty much right when I wake up, roughly, or around lunchtime, like maximum, unless they're having some kind of problem. I'm gonna try to pool all my resources, pool my Patreon money and my Curse money, and try to get a 1050 Ti. Obviously, I don't really play a whole lot of games that really tax my computer, but I feel like it's going to be a good time to do it because Tales of Berseria is coming out in January. I would like to get that on PC, but given all the problems that God Eater and Xenoverse 2 have had on PC, I'm kind of on the fence, but it would be nice to future-proof my computer in the first place, and I really don't make enough to do that kind of thing, all that stuff at once, and most people don't, honestly, unless you save up like for years or something. So the first thing I'm going to do is get a 1050 Ti. I would like to do a fundraiser, maybe to raise a little bit extra so that I have a little extra leeway, and to also get the capture card that my friend offered. That would be a pretty big step towards future-proofing my computer. I have an i5 3750K that was donated to me by Apothecary 2, and that's, from what I hear, still a very good processor, even though it's a couple years old. You don't really need anything above that unless you're doing like really, really heavy-duty gaming, which I don't. I do and I don't. I don't in the traditional sense. I don't really play any of the big AAA stuff, but it hasn't really taxed anything that I've played so far. But it would be nice to do that. What I'm going to do is I'm going to link to I'll put all my stuff in the description. If you do decide to help me out, be it on Patreon or just normally, and you want something in return, you can go ahead and let me know, and I'll be glad to oblige. I would like to get all that stuff done next month, ideally, because January is going to be Fate Extella and Berseria. Now, I heard from Swillow that Fate Extella is a pretty fun game, but it also seems like it's kind of light on content. He said that he finished it, most of the content, in like a day. I believe Amazon Prime is selling it for $40 for a physical copy, so I may or may not do that. Obviously, I don't have any kind of fan knowledge or fanboyism for that franchise at all. So it would not be like Kamen Rider. I was able to overlook Kamen Rider's shortcomings, like the lack of content and the 30 FPS cap and all that stuff, because I'm a Kamen Rider. I'm a big Tokusatsu fan. But with Fate Extella, I hear it's like a big chunk of it is like the whole visual novel story part. And obviously, that's all just lost in translation to me. So I'm not sure if I'm going to get that. Tales of Berseria, for sure. I don't really know how much a trainer on like a cheat engine table would help with that game. With Tales of Zestiria, it helped significantly because you could add a sprint that was not tied to the wind step. You could customize the weapons to your liking. You did not have to deal with the awful grinding and stuff like that. I know Clip, if you guys like high level Tales gameplay, you should definitely check him out. He uses that cheat engine table to make weapons that are not like actually possible, or if they are possible, they'd be highly improbable to get on console. All I was really looking for in the cheat engine table for the upcoming PC version is just a super sprint, because I hear that traveling through the dungeons is really, really slow, especially towards the second half of the game. So I would like to do that, but at the same time, I'm kind of on the fence. So what I'm probably going to do with Berseria is I will buy it with my PayPal account on Steam. I'll probably pre-order it, and then if it has a bunch of problems, if it ends up anything like Xenoverse 2, where it's been almost over a month now, and the game's still broken, or there's no sign of the patches, the issues being fixed anytime soon, then I'll just refund it and get it on PS4. I know Namco heavily discounts their stuff pretty often. I know God Eater's already down to like under $30 on Steam. I think it's on sale right now, actually, during the winter sale. So that's the plan for December and January. I will put more thought into how I will structure the fundraiser. What I would like to do is just raise enough for the capture card, and then maybe a little extra for the video card, because it seems like it's been going out of stock a lot. The 1050 Ti is pretty much the best budget card on the market right now. It's I hear it runs most games at 1080p 60, even more heavy duty stuff. So that's a perfect card for me. It will be over double the power of what I have now. I'm probably going to give the other card to my dad, actually. We're working on getting him a better computer. I was probably going to ship that over to him and try to get some more parts out of my computer. Slowly building my own computer. This was a pre-built computer, and you see the quality of my videos. You see how well it's held up, but I think it'll be good to future-proof it. So throughout December, I'll need to give it some time, how I'm going to structure it, what time I'm going to do it at, and I'll try to figure all that stuff out. But thanks to everybody who has supported me. Even if you haven't sent me any money, like, you should not feel bad about that at all. Honestly, sometimes I wake up in the morning and I see people say, thanks for the video, or this really helped me out, or this helped me to make an educated decision for a purchase. That's what I'm here for, really. I've realized a long time ago that my channel is never going to get big, barring a miracle, but the stuff that I do needs to be done. A lot of the big guys, they don't touch the stuff that I play with the 10-foot pole. And, there's tons of people that play that stuff. It's the big YouTubers. If they do play them at all, they don't play them for very long. They tend to not have any passion or experience for them. It is important that people like me, and even, some of you create content as well. It's important that all of us make content for these games, because someone has to do it. It's one of those things. Sometimes it does feel like a thankless job sometimes, but it's something that needs to be done. These games need more love, more exposure. We need insight from people who are experienced in those genres and franchises. So that's why I keep doing what I do, and that's why I've trucked on putting up a video almost every day throughout all the problems I've had this year. I've noticed a lot of improvement. Slow, but a pretty noticeable amount of improvement with my mental health. I'm kind of getting out of the anxiety, symptoms, getting out of the anxiety and stress cycle a lot faster. And I'd like to thank you guys for supporting me. Like I bought Icy, and that's had like 20,000 views. Like I was not really expecting that at all. I just bought it blindly, and I made those videos to just kind of educate people and show them that it was a cool game. And I was not expecting that kind of exposure or response at all. So I'm going to go ahead and post my links in the description, my Twitch, my Patreon, and my PayPal. If you want something done in return, you can go ahead and let me know. Hopefully, even if I don't do the fundraiser, I will be able to get the 1050 Ti and the capture card next month. My parents called me and said that they'll probably send me some cash, so we'll see what happens with that. But I'm trying to get it done in December because there's going to be a bunch of stuff coming out throughout the next few months that I'd like to cover, and my money only goes so far, just like any other adult. So hopefully we can get that done in December. In terms of games, obviously I got Xenoverse 2 on PS4 earlier this week. I'll probably be playing through that. PSO2 looks like it's going to be pretty dry until the new emergency quest comes out. DFO is kind of the same way. I'm pretty much only logging onto that game for dailies, probably until the Swift Master comes out, which I assume might be next month, probably January or something like that. Depends on how long they want to stagger their content. So I won't be playing those as much. So hopefully I can come back to closers. What the main plan is Xenoverse 2 and probably God Eater 2 throughout December, and then whatever I end up doing for the fundraiser will be the main things. And then January, Fate Extella is in the air. I'm not sure if I'm going to do that or not. Berseria for sure. I'm just not sure which version I'm going to get. And you better believe if I do get it on PC, I'm going to cut my losses this time. I'm going to be smarter about it, and hopefully people will report if there's any major bugs or anything like that. And if there are, then I'll just refund it and get it on PS4. I know I can probably bum someone's save file if it comes to that point, and there is a good trainer for it. The Zestiria trainer vastly changes that game. It fixes a lot of the issues that it has. You don't even have to use the Armatus or Armatizing on the PC version at all if you don't want to, if you just make optimized weapons. So maybe Berseria will have nice quality of life things like that too. Anyway, catch you guys later. Peace.